What's it gonna be? How you gonna be? Who you gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? How you gonna be? Who you gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? How you gonna be? Who you gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? How you gonna be? Who you gonna be?
There are 13 energy centers in and outside of your body, below your feet and above your head. They're called your chakras. Your chakras govern your reality. They make your life happen. They're fueled by your subconscious thoughts, your life force, your action, sexual energy that exists in all of us, creating from the vibration that flows within us. Constant, consistent creation, directed by the choices that we make. You have the right to be who you're supposed to be, so what's it gonna be? You are the master of your vibration. Feed your mind for elevation. There is no time for contemplation. The time is now. So what's it gonna be?
Giving thanks, honor, and praise to the divine spirit within and without, below and above, encompassing the four directions, north, south, east, west. We give honor to the sacred space. We give thanks for the grand rising of the matriarchs. We give thanks to our ancestral lineage. If it was not for them, we would not be. We give thanks for all things, for everything. And we ask for the eyes to see the divine in everything that our eye beholds. May we have the vision to see past that which is current, aligning ourselves with who we are currently as the currency. Bringing forth high vibrations, ancestral wisdom, and balance. May all things be in balance. We give thanks for an opening ear to hear, and even more so, an opening of wisdom to actualize and to use that which we know in our daily lives. We thank you for this great time. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. We honor our connection through all things, to the animal kingdom, to the plant kingdom, to the crystal kingdom, the mineral kingdom. We give thanks. We give thanks for this time of remembering of who we are. This time of rising the grand matriarch, honoring our wounds and honoring all wounds. We give thanks. We give thanks for this portal that connects us to all things, everything sacred that is within. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. Honors, honors, and honors to all mothers. Honors to the balance of our fathers. We thank you. We thank you. Without our ancestors, we are nothing. We thank you for the lessons that we receive as we walk our past. We thank you for the remembrance of knowing that we chose to be here in this time, knowing that all that we do as an individual affects the collective. May we show honor to ourselves. As we honor ourselves, we are honoring everything. For everything is within. May we have the stillness to sit in the seat of gratitude for everything. May we be open to recognize signs and symbols and decode the mysteries that are held within us and that are marveled all throughout time and space. We are so thankful and so grateful for this time, this divine time. May our ministries continue to impact us in ways so that we may continue to unfold into our divinity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ashe, Amen Ra, Mayat. Ashe, Amen Ra, Mayat. Giving thanks and praise, giving thanks and praise, giving thanks and gratitude for the divinity within myself. Thanks and gratitude for the divinity within each and every one of you. Thankful and grateful for the melanated consciousness, melanated awareness, melanated beings, the dark matter. That cosmic mother consciousness. Thankful and grateful to each and every one of you that is tuned in, wanting to tune in to the grand rising of the matriarch. Thankful and grateful to be a daughter of the mothers. Thankful and grateful for all the wounds in my bloodline who has walked before me. Thankful and grateful for the wounds of each sister. I honor you, I praise you, and I lift you up. I decree to do no harm, no ill will, no spiritual trespass, be it in thought, word, action, deed, or reaction to any wound twist. And if I do, I ask for forgiveness. Any prostate in my bloodline that is hurt or harmed, knowingly, unknowingly, intentionally, or unintentionally, any womb twists, I'm asking for forgiveness. The sacredness of our womb, whole wombs, divine wombs, creation. So I thank each ancestor standing on the shoulders of greatness
I thank you and I honor you as the mother, as the usher of the mother, since the beginning, before the beginning. Those who honor the mother shall have long life. So I thank you, mamas. I thank you, mamas. I thank you, mothers. Ashe, Amra, Mayat. Toe, toe, toe.
Yes, giving thanks. Ah. Let's take a time for some breathing deeply through our nose. Releasing out of our mouth. Breathing in deeply again, breathing deeply from our womb space. Breathing out. Really feeling that connection as a creator, as a creatrix, as a wombstress. Feeling that connection to all of the mothers before us, and even those who will come after us. May all wounds be healed in divine order and divine time, if that is their choosing, if that is their walk. Giving thanks, giving thanks, giving thanks. You are here listening to the word sound of the grand rising of the matriarch. Hear word sounding this sacred service is myself, I Minister Ready, Shakira of Ready Ministry and I Ready Healing. I provide practical solutions for preparedness, practical solutions for healing, how to get to your own medicine and utilize that which your ancestors have left for you. I am here with I Minister OjeYemi of the Queen Mother Sacred Ancestral Palace in Osaranga 360, giving thanks and honor to her in her womb, in her ancestral lineage. We also have I Minister SEG9. Yes, yes. With the Center of Self-Mastery and Master Vibration 13.com. Be sure to check us out. To find out more about what we are doing and what we are all about at Queen Mother Sacred Ancestral Palace, you can definitely be aligned with a magical, magnificent, and marvelous womb session and reconnect to the wombs before you while reconnecting back to you, because it's all you. We have SEG9. I meant to say SEG9 We have so many gifts. I could go on and on about each of you and what you provide, as well as myself, honoring her womb and her ancestral lineage as well. And shout out to all of the I ministers and singing their ministries. We are the currency. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we appreciate everyone who tunes in now, later. This is a part of our legacy and the sacred service that we are sharing for the upliftment of humanity, the recognition of who we are and where we came from, and getting back to which they tried to take from us, but they truly cannot. Indeed, indeed, indeed. I would like to say and give appreciation to my eye ministers and my womb sisters, my womb sisters, my womb stresses for holding sacred space for me. During the show, I did listen in on what is your your character and walking in your character. Very good show. Very, 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 very good. I am thankful and grateful and thankful and grateful. It brought me in a point of reflection in regards to my character. What does your character word sound about you? And I love the question because, as usual, most of your questions always cause for self-reflection. Yeah. And I reflected on some things. And it's like a checkpoint for me. So, yeah, I might have did that and thought it was right because it was my proper reaction in that moment. But what is that really saying about my character? But I appreciate that because, as was said, the part of reflecting brings forth any necessary adjustments that may need to be done in regards to your character and being true to who you say you are, but are you being that? So once again, thank you for the sacred service last week. And if you missed that, you can definitely tune in and listen to the replay. So usually when we have a topic, I get a pretty good reasoning or understanding of where we're kind of flowing with it. But with this one, yeah, you kind of got me on this one. I was like, And it can go so many ways, and I'm sure we're going to go through all of the ways in which it can go and really get into your inspiration of in who or what do you invite to keep interest. And I kept saying it to myself and saying it to myself, and I'm like, I'm trying to, what? Who or what do you invite to keep interest? And I already know you don't go with the standard flow of like how you're gonna say something or using standard words in ways that that the whole crowd is using them. So I'm like, because I'm trying to like make it grammatically correct, and I'm coming from, you know what I'm saying? I'm coming from like, master classes in English, and was always big on these words when I was little, and I'm like, that ain't supposed to go like that. Well, maybe she mean, who do you trust to invite in? Like, I'm like, no, she said what she said, and I know she said how she said it for a reason, and we're gonna get right into that reasoning. Because I'm excited to hear all about the inspiration behind this question. And who or what do you invite to keep interest? So I'm like, okay, is this about who you trust or what you're trusting? Or is this more like, okay, so if you invited in something, does that mean you trusted it, or you invited it in even though you didn't trust it? So, like, where are we going with this, ER? Give me some clarity. Give us some clarity, please.
Okay. What do you invite in your life? Do you invite wholeness? Do you invite ease? Do you invite joy?
Okay.
Do you invite harmony? And your trust. Because if you don't invite joy, ease, and if you're not inviting it in, how's it getting there?
Okay. That's bringing me back to what you're saying and having to invite your ancestors in.
Mm-hmm. So if you don't invite anything into your life, how does it get there? And you might want to do etymology of the word invite. Might want to do etymology of the word trust. Notice, I said, if you don't invite ease and joy, if you don't invite your womb to give you the womb conversation, the womb tuition, or the womb gestation, how are you going to get it? Jewel Pookum, Dr. Jewel Pookum, made a statement about how we use black and brown. She says the word melanin or melanated. And when you state melanin or melanated, that brings forth the conscious awareness. So in actuality, when you say something, is that not an invite?
Yes, I would know so. That anything you're saying, you are inviting that energy in, whatever frequency that your word sounding, that is what is like streaming to you, like what you put out comes back. Okay.
So that's your invitation to life. So if you don't trust something, or if you don't put it in trust, which is safekeeping, or you don't know something, how can you trust something? So if you don't invite it in, how could it come in? And when it's there, do you keep it as a trust? Do you trust it when it comes in? So in who or what do you invite to keep in your trust? Keep it. Do you keep it once it comes? So when you invite joy, do you keep the joy? Do you trust that the joy is going to stay there with you?
Okay, I see where you're going.
Because we're keepers. So if we invite joy, then why can't we keep it? Why can't we trust to know that it's going to be a part of our everyday life? So if we have a trust means to bring something in, to know, to have faith. To know that it's not going to hurt or harm you, betray you, or do anything to you, because that's your trust. That means everything that you invite in is a part of you. And you're going to keep it. So often, we say we're the currency, we say we're the, and we say that we're ephemeris, but ephemer. Do we keep that? Do we really invite that in? And do we keep that energy, that frequency, that vibration? Do we put it in our trust?
Right. or is it just fleeting in the moment?
So often we use affirmations and denials. We affirming things. That's an invite. But do you keep that invite, that affirmation? Do you keep it? Do you bring it in your trust? It's just like when you, what do they call this? When you have a trust fund.
Mm-hmm.
That means it's kept, right?
Right. It's kept with someone. It's entrusted in someone. It's kept. It's
yes.
safe. It's not.
So it's entrusted. Yes. So if you invite a person, place, or thing, because I'm going to get to the person, place, or thing, how this came about, are you entrusting to keep that in your trust? Because if you don't trust something, how can you keep something? If you don't trust that you're going to always have joy, then are you going to have it? If you don't keep joy, you invite joy in, but it's only fleeting. It's only for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've allowed something to come to shake your joy. So, are you a keeper of what you invite in? Because according to Dr. Pukulam, you have 23 trillion cells in your being. And in those 23 trillion cells, each one of them has wisdom, consciousness, sun rays. Each one of those cells carry an infinite knowing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when you invite stuff in, it's already in your cellular, your molecular structure. It's already trust in you. It's already been entrusted. You just got to go in and keep it. Open it up. So when you invite something in, why do you have to call it? Why do you need an affirmation? Haven't you already invited it in? Once it's in, can you keep it?
Right. It's more. It's not as complicated as we make it out to be. It's very simple. Just joy.
The Pilgrim Secret. Very simple. But we make it complex.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason that came about is there's this Empress Sacral rare bird.
Mm-hmm.
I saw her once on Dr. G, and I really paid attention to this sister's energy. She's Cherokee, indigenous, but she was entrusted by the elders of her tribe to bring forth the matriarch energy, to bring forth the matriarch bloodline, to restore the land back to the matriarch, its rightful owner, the resources to its rightful owner. She was on this podcast. She was invited, but she brought two of her sisters in that helped her. Before she spoke, she allowed them to word sound first. She was on Dr. G again, and she came and she asked for 100 waitresses to join her with a decree about giving their clan, being standing in for their clan, the matriarch, the clan, to say these decrees so that the land can be restored back to its rightful owner so we could honor the matriarch. So I shared this with the waitresses. I had one waitress come back to me and said, "What do you feel about her?"
Mm-hmm.
My only thing
What do you
is,
mean, like your perception of her? Like, what do you?
yeah, what
does
I
she
feel
mean?
about her.
Okay.
So I said, she's doing her medicine. She's been entrusted to go forth. She's the daughter of the mothers. She is talking about the mothers. But she's also talking about restoring the land back to the matriarch. Because the land was always matriarchal. The resources was always belonged to the matriarch. I said, so that's what I feel about her. Oh, well, people don't know anything about her, and people talking because they don't know anything about her, and she just showed up. I said, so what does that have to do with anything? She's not asking for any money. She's not asking for any currency. She's asking for your consciousness. She's explaining to you, she's word sounding to you who she is. She's not asking you for anything. So I say that to say, we are sistering. Who do we invite in? Who? To keep our trust. I don't have to sip out the same straw as you, but if you're talking about the matriarch, I'm with you. Why is it that we don't trust in each other? Why is it has to be, well, we don't know anything. Why do you need to know anything about her? Look at her works. Feel her energy, because you can feel it. When do we stop that? Now, if there was a brother, would nothing have been said? When do we realize that every sister has a piece, brings a piece to the table? It's a part of the trust. But we are so closed-minded to our wounds. Everybody doesn't have an angle. Everybody doesn't have We have to really see, when you know yourself, when you know your womb, you trust everything and everybody. You're willing to help serve in whatever capacity you have to serve in. Because if there's a sister in talking about the mothers, I'm a part of that. I don't have to join it, but I'm going to give my energy to that. Because you see, I invite and I keep what I want in my trust. We are all broken shards. It's time for the healing to take place for these broken shards. It is time for us to honor each other. No matter if you hakabuka, hukasuka, we don't have to believe in the same thing. We don't have to be doing the same thing. Everybody has a dharma. Everybody has a purpose. Your purpose might be to smile. Your purpose might be to sing. Your purpose might be to keep the sacred space. Your purpose might be that you're an oracle. Your purpose might be that you carry the sacerdotal powers. But we all have a purpose to share, to give, to trust to the world, if we choose to the melanated beings. But if we keep allowing our thoughts, our words, our actions, and our deeds and our reactions to stop us from seeing the wholeness in another womb to assist, Mm-mm. As Dr. Pookrum stated, she said that when you thoughts and words are not cohesive, you're not hurting the person, you're hurting yourself. So for every dart, if you say, that's ugly she got on, that's a dart that you've thrown against your sister. That's an invite that you've called in. When we invite things into our lives, our world, and our affairs, we should be very careful. Because every thought, every word, every action, every deed, every reaction creates. It's already in our cellular structure. The mitochondria, your molecular. Only thing you got to do is call it forth. It has already been trusted to you. Can you go in and receive it?
Right. It takes
everybody.
Acknowledgement.
Yes, everybody. Every womb-tress carries a piece, has a part to play, and brings something. And is a keeper, is an inviter, is a radiator, generator, builder. But can we see that? Can we perceive beyond what's being projected? As you stated earlier in your prayer, can we see the sacredness and the divinity within ourselves first? And then we can see it in our sisterin, no matter what that sisterin is projecting. But here's a sister that's saying, I'm doing this because I'm entrusting. I've been entrusted to do this. I don't want the land. I want to make sure that you waitressses get your land. What is there to think about her? But I asked, I said, what do you think about yourself? What do you feel about you? You don't know how long this sister been doing this. You don't, but she has a story. No, I got my own thing going on. I ain't got time for nobody else's. But what if someone said that about you? See, you can give your frequency, your energy, and your vibration to more than one thing. The mother is everywhere, evenly present. Do you invite ease, joy, harmony, love, wholeness? Do you invite that? And do you keep it in your trust? What do you invite in your trust? Where is your attention every day, all day? Every second, every moment is an invite. We are keepers. Your record keeper is inside of you. You've been entrusted. You came forth entrusted to be a waitress. Do you trust your womb? Do you trust the wisdom that comes from her? Do you trust the womb tuition? Do you trust the womb pulsations? Do you trust the womb stations? Do you trust yourself? Because if you trust yourself, you're going to trust every womb-tress. And you're not going to want to hurt or harm another womb-tress. You're not going to throw darts whether you know that you're doing it or not. You have to take full responsibility for everything that we think, feel, say, do, react. So I'm going to ask you, what or who do you invite to keep in trust? Just, just think about that. What do you feel about another sister? You don't have to know her.
Right.
What did you feel about yourself? Because you're the first point of origin. Then it's your mother. Then it's your grandmother. Then it's your sisters and your family. But do you invite harmony in your life? Do you invite joy? Do you invite ease? Those are the first things first.
Right, it's not just mere material.
Yes.
Or actual person like come over or...
Yes.
It's actually the finer things in life. Those are actually the finer things in life, that joy, that peace, that wholeness, being whole in who you are. Yes, the melanin. The power of each cell in our body and what it's doing and the wisdom that it holds. Just each little cell. And this is what we are composed of, like within our body, within our system. It's cells everywhere. Like she said, trillions.
And they all have a sun ray. She said the light is just the information. Each cell has a sun ray. So if the mother birthed the son, the cosmic mother, she birthed the son, and the son came back into her. So that same son that was in the mother is in us. The mother was so wise that she stored it in our cells.
So that's like going back to say, it literally can't be taken from us, but we can be distracted from it, or not even, distraction might not be the right word, but just we can be almost programmed to stall activation, or, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, because it's there. It literally cannot be taken from us. It is there. As you said, we've already off the ripper from the time that we were within our, as an egg, before we even became into a physical fruition. It was already there. We've already been entrusted. It is just waiting on that time for like your arrival, like your point where you come into a physical existence, but you was already given everything you need within you, everything that the cosmic mothers has been instilled inside of us, like you said.
Even before you got here.
Yes, that is powerful, because it's making me think, like, even as a woman, even when she, as she hasn't come into her womanhood yet as a child, she still has a reserve of all of this potential of children from the eggs that she has. Just waiting, like, the wisdom is already there.
Even if she doesn't even birth the child, she still... See, whether you birth the child or not, you're still a mother. You still carry that mother energy because you were birthed from a mother. So just because you didn't birth the child doesn't mean that you're not a mother.
Mm-hmm.
You still carry that mother energy. You still carry that womb. Birthing is everything. When you birth, when you go into that melanin, that's a birth. You're inviting that melanin. She said, because of our melanin, we could state one word, awareness. That's an invite. And the melanin is going to go in to the DNA. The melanin is going to go into those cells and bring forth an awareness.
Mm-hmm.
That's the invite. The invite is when you go and say, joy. That's an invite.
Right. I remember you.
You know, some people say, I call forth my ancestors. Is that not an invite? So if for anything to come to you, it has to be invited. If you don't call forth joy, how you going to have it? If you don't call forth harmony, how you going to have it?
You can't bring it about what you don't call for. Like, that's like almost saying closed mouths don't get fed. Or if you leave your mouth wide open, a fly could fly in. So if you're just saying too much, you're not even having any conscious awareness of how your words are consistently and always creating. There's no turn off or no break time. Like, oh, okay, she was joking, or yeah, she said that, but no,
Right. Always. That's why I don't watch comedians. I'm not into that. Because first of all, I don't like the vocabulary. I don't like those vocabulary words that they use. And they're always words sounding about somebody. So no matter, the omniverse doesn't understand that they're joking. They hear that. And every time their words sound, that's a dart being thrown to someone. And that dart hits.
And returns to sender.
Doesn't return to sender. Yes, it does. But guess what? Each time your words sound against someone, your words sounded against yourself. That's karma. You're creating a karmatic loop. So we are sistering waitresses have to be very, very cautious. We have to be aware, consciously, of every second, every moment. And when you're working out of forgiveness and you're walking in love and walking in forgiveness, you're going to be conscious. You got to pay attention to what you're doing, what you're feeling, what you're saying, what you're inviting into your life. You're going to be able to keep those things. Because you're inviting it, but you're inviting it to keep it because you're going to put it under trust. So anything that's up under trust, is it not kept? Is it not safe? Is it not secure?
It's secure.
That's what the trust is. That's what the trust is, right? The trust means that it's safe and secure. So when you invite it in and you keep it in trust, where is it going? It's with you always.
But it is the lack of trust in those attributes which causes one to leave that or not embody that at any given moment.
Well, to me, it's a lack of knowing what you're inviting into your life.
Okay.
If you aren't aware, if you're not conscious of the thoughts, words, feelings, deeds, actions, and reactions, what are you creating? What are you inviting in your life? It's like you have to consciously at all times, I don't use the word time, conscious at all sacred moments, paying attention to everything that you do, everything that you say, everything that you feel. It's like you have to be a watchman.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever practiced this? Just one day, one dawning, one day, out of the strong, just say, I'm going to observe myself. It's like you're the observer. When I say pay attention, another word is called observer, where you just watch to see what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be surprised how we go through life unaware, unconscious, just creating every day, unconsciously.
Yes.
So when a word sound a word, because it's an invitation, another way of word sounding is another way of an invite, because I'm requesting something, I'm sending something out, I'm asking for something, still an invite. I'm looking for something, still an invite. I just use the word invite because, to me, everything that I bring into my life is an invite. I'm going to invite it in because I'm going to invite it in. I'm going to bring it in, but I'm going to keep it because I'm going to put my attention on that. So if I want to bring in joy, I'm going to put my attention on joy. I'm going to get that feeling of joy. I'm going to call forth joy. And no matter what comes to me, I'm going to keep that feeling of joy. Same thing with love. If you start with the feeling of love for yourself, no matter what goes on, you're going to keep that feeling of love. And you're going to fall so deeply in love with you that it permeates every cell of your body. It's already there. You just got to invite it in. So everything you need is already there. You just got to invite it. In, out of you. I invite ease and joy in my life. I invite love in my life. I invite the sacred, divine divinity in my life. And when I invite it, it's going to come.
A lot of people are not even aware of this constant creation that is happening through them by their thoughts and what they are saying. Like they don't recognize or understand the power that they have to create by the choice of words, sound, thoughts, and reflections that you have towards other people. Like, literally, people just think like we just winging it out here in life. Like, it's just, hey, life is just lifing and, God's willing. And, yeah, but even that term, God's willing, like, God is essentially in you, as you are also a creator. What are you willing? How there's this detachment of this being something so far outside of yourself, like it has nothing to do with you, and that is so far from the truth. It has everything to do with you, everything.
Well, if you've been taught a certain way, that's what you know. But to walk this walk is a responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
To walk this walk is a courage and a strength and a wisdom walk. But if you don't want to take responsibility for yourself, then that means that I'm just going to do whatever. This is a disciplined responsibility walk. This walk has to have a vision. So often we want to get high, we want to smoke, we want to drink, we want to party, we want to do these things. But when you're truly doing this walk, there's just certain things that don't mix well with this walk.
Right. Because it's
So
going to
it's
alter.
easy. It's easy to say, well, I prayed to God and God didn't do nothing for me. Instead of to say that I'm responsible for everything that happens to me and that the divinity lives inside of me. The sacred, what I'm praying to, I'm not praying to God, I'm praying to myself. So that's the disconnect, because you're praying to something that you think that is outside of you. When you make the prayer, you're praying to yourself, because you are God. You are divinity. You are the divine. So you're really praying to yourself. And until that awareness has been made, perfect example, one sister said that she couldn't wrap her mind around that the mother is the divine, because we've been taught that it's a man's world.
Right.
So that concept, right? So that concept of being divine or being the God for us is a foreign concept. That's a blasphemous concept. So you have to get past all the programming.
Mm-hmm.
You have to allow yourself to move through the race consciousness and say, I need to look at this. I need to go into my melanin, that dark matter, that black hole, and find out. But see, everybody comes here from a point of remembering. So in this incarnation, maybe you came to go through the church doors. Maybe that might be what you need because of your prior lives. So in each carnation, it all depends on where you are in your evolution. So, but if you hold each notice, if you behold the divinity, that's the only thing that matters. Because everybody has to behold their own divinity. So when I see you, I see divinity. I don't see anything else. And if I see anything else, then guess what? I'm out of order. It's not about what you see. It's about what I see. And when it comes to me, it ain't about what you see, it's what I see. When it comes to you, it ain't about what I see, it's what you see. It's not about what I say, it's what you say. Because every thought, word, action, deed, and reaction that Ifa William OjeYemi with Tim William Hotep creates, it sets a chain reaction for myself. That's why every prayer I pray, I ask for forgiveness if I've harmed anyone by thought, by word, by action, by deed, by reaction, intentionally, unintentionally, known or unknown.
I want to re-emphasize a point that you made just now and a little earlier on, as far as feeling that somebody has to be right there in your walk per se. And what I mean by that is if if your tradition is comedic, you ain't dealing with nobody that's not on the comedic walk. If they are more in there in the more science, oh, I ain't into that. So I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Not even really tapping in, as you said, into that person's frequency and what they've come to do and how they've came to do something that is beyond themselves as an individual. They're here to do things beyond themselves, within themselves, but beyond themselves, where it's not all about them. So it is a very great point to recognize that everybody doesn't have to be sipping from the same straw, like you said. I don't have to drink out your straw. You don't have to drink out of mine in order for me to support you energetically and through my frequency if we are doing something that is for the benefit of the collective feminine divine, the matriarch, the mother energy, the wombstresses, having these conversations and like, oh, I don't listen to her because, she's over there with them. You know what I'm saying? And kind of just being partial.
Yes, that's what I said. And who or what do you invite to keep in trust? I don't care. Now, there's one sister, I tried to listen to her. Her vocabulary just was just like a little turn off, but I stayed as long as I could because she was a waitress and she had something to word sound. Don't mean I have anything against her. I just don't like the vocabulary. So it's kind of difficult for me to kind of stay with you. But if that sister, and I say it, but if that sister ever called me, if that sister needed something, I'm there. See, it doesn't make no difference whether you hookah-book. I don't see that. I see sister in that build. I'm a builder. I'm a erector. You say you want to do this? Let's get down. If I can if I can keep your vision, if I can see your vision, I'm going to help you. I mean, not help you, but I'm going to be a part of it. I don't have to join you to be a part of something. I'm a keeper. And in that, I keep space. I'm a space keeper. Some people, like they say, they like to hold space. I can't hold space, but I can keep space. I can help keep your vision. So I don't get caught into whether you know more or you're timid. That means nothing when it's all said and done. You put your underwear on the same way as I put mine on. You came out the same womb I came out of. We might not have been born together, but you came out of a womb.
Mm-hmm.
Your experiences might be different, but it's all the same experience when it's all said and done. I can offer my inspiration to anybody. You could be in church. You need me, I'm there. You want me to hold the vision? Well, I can pray, baby. I can do a prayer vision with you. I just might not call him JC, but I can. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not allowing myself to put no sister down. That's just not gonna happen. Because we all have something. We all have a piece of the pie. We all have a piece of this collective consciousness. We're melanated beings. Our melanin is melanin. It ain't saying, well, you belong to whoop-de-doo and you belong to silence. That ain't what the melanin is saying. So why are we saying that?
Mm-hmm. Programming.
I have had sisters talk about me, but I will not walk away from the sister. Say what you it's okay, sis. You can say whatever you need to say about me. I'm okay with that. But let's do this. Come on, let's do this. See, I'm not the dog that bring the bone. My mother has a saying. When somebody come back to you and says somebody said something about you, she will always say, the dog that bring the bone is the dog that carry the bone. Because if you talk about a sister to me, I'm not going to go back and tell that sister anything you said. Because that carries mess. But now I'm going to tell you, you know what? Well, she's still a sister. She's still divine. Now I might ask you how you feel about that. Because I don't take my marbles and go home.
What you mean by that,
Why?
Maya?
Take my marbles and go home.
Yes.
You know when children get mad. You ever play with marbles?
Yes.
And then, the pretty marbles, and, they be playing marbles, and somebody beating you, and you get your marbles, and you go home. That means when you get upset, I'm done. That's what children do. They get mad, and they go home, but they come back together.
No more. Okay.
Right. Yes. So I don't take my marbles home. If someone does something to offend me, then I have the right to say, you know what, sis, you offended me.
Mm-hmm.
I have the right to come in, bring it to your attention.
Mm-hmm. And that's showing vulnerability too.
Right. That not only that's showing that I value you as a sister, and not say it behind your back, but to say it to your face, because I'm very forward. You don't know how I feel at all times. Now, a lot of times, I might not say anything. You might show me something about your character. I might not say anything, but I'm going to watch that character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to share a story, and you'll probably chuckle when I share the story. I was a part of this sistering group, and the sister was dynamic. She had a lot going on, and we were building together, and it was a lot of us. We were building, and we started doing things, and we were building, and things was moving, and all of a sudden, I had decided to invite this other sister in who had a different modality, and these two sisters had fell out. I ain't know nothing about that, because I'm not there for that. I'm here to help you build, sis. You got something going on. I see the vision. So I'm holding the vision with you, and we all holding the vision, because this is something that we could all attain to. So I had invited this sister to come teach the modality to some people. This sister had another sister call me and try to tell me about this sister. And I was like, you know what? No, I don't, no. Go back and, no. Whatever they got going on, that's between them. Ain't got to do with that. The sister got so mad at me, she eventually put me out of her group. But I don't care. That's what she has to do, because, you see, I don't care. You and Sally Sue might not like each other. That has nothing to do with me. That's between you and Sally Sue. Now, what I might do is try to bring you and Sally Sue back together and say, let's sit and reason this out. When we value ourselves, I'm not in competition with no sister. I was living in Atlanta at the time, and this sister said, oh, there's a whole lot of y'all down there stinging. I said, do you know how many rooms there is in Atlanta? I can't touch all these rooms. We need a room.
Right.
We need a room. I said, we need a room at every block.
I know, right?
We need a room.
Like they got
we need somebody to thank you. I said, that's why. I said, do you know how many rooms it is out here? We could never touch all these rooms. So we need more roomtresses. We need more people who are practitioners. Your medicine is your medicine. My medicine is my medicine. The way I give my medicine might not be the way you get it, but it's regardless of all that. Who's going to come to you is going to come to you. Who's going to come to me is going to come to me. Well, it's enough tea in China for everybody to get some. There's a whole
my
pie.
grandma used to say that.
Yes, it's enough tea for us all to have some tea. But do you have the consciousness for the collective? Do you have the consciousness for every melanated being? What I want for me, I want for you and everybody else. That's why I'm so willingly going forth, even before I even understood anything about the mothers. If there was a sistering that was building, hey sis, I see the vision. Here's my loyalty. Here's my energy. Here's my vibration. Here's my frequency. I'm willing to do that. I don't have to do. I'm not going to just do it with one sister. I'm going to do it with all the sisters. I just don't have to be in one thing. I'm not going to allow anybody to pigeonhole me into one thing. It's a mentality that we have where, if another sister is, I'm going, ooh, sister, you got it going on. There's no competition when you know yourself. There's no competition when you are a keeper and you know your gifts. You know what you come to do, and you're doing that. We keep using that word power. This is what I tell sister. Okay, you say you're powerful. Are you walking on the water? Are you raising the sick? Are you raising the sick? Are you raising the dead? Are you leaving this body going wherever you want to go? Are you aware of who you are? Are you truly inviting and living from there? And if you're not doing those things, go back. Go back. Because, see, we keep saying the word powerful, we don't have a clue. We don't have a third of what that actually means or feels like.
Right.
But we use it. And there's no disrespect to no one. What I'm saying is, what are you inviting? What are you inviting to keep in trust? Starting with self. I always say this to a sister. Pay attention to when you word sound who you are. Because the mother bird is going to say, oh, that's who you are? Okay. Let's see. When someone shares a piece of wisdom with you and that wisdom log opens up, the mother bird is going to bring that to you because you're no longer ignorant. You've been made aware. Do we internalize it? Do we digest it? Do we eat it? Do we practice it? Have you gave your vagina a name? Have you gave your womb a name? Do you commune with your vagina? Do you commune with your womb? Do you commune with your cells? Do you commune with your organs? Do you commune with your tissues? Do you send them an invitation? Because when you meditate, that's an invitation with the spirit realm. This service is an invitation with the spirit, with the mothers. Because the mothers meet us every Friday at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, 8 p.m. Central Standard, 6 p.m. PST, Is that Pacific Standard Time, I think, right?
Yes.
See, the mothers are here because we sent the invitation out. And they're going to show up regardless whether we show up or not. So when you invite the Spirit's going to already be there. But are you going to be there? Are you going to show up? Are you going to keep yourself? Are you going to invite the fruits, the gifts? And are you going to keep them? Are you going to practice them? Are you going to have patience with yourself? And are you going to, can you persevere? Because when you invite something in your life, you got to allow it to show up. You got to nurture it. Are you a nurturer? Do you nurture yourself? Do you love on yourself? Do you invite those things in? I call them fruits. Some people call them qualities.
Mm-hmm. I like the fruits because it's like it goes with the saying you judge a tree by its fruits.
Yeah.
Something like that. I'm probably saying it wrong, but I think there's something like
No,
that.
what fruit? Right, you can judge by a tree by the fruit that it bears. So this is what I say. What fruit do you bear? And what season do you bear your fruit? Because, fruit is seasonal. So it means that we're seasonal. What season are you in? See, the winter season is the season for newness. That means you get to drop away all that old dead stuff. And you get to sit, and you get to incubate. You get to hibernate. So you prepare yourself for it with whatever you want. So in the next season, which is spring, you can kind of like wake up a little bit and thaw out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But what are you inviting in? What are you inviting in? And once you get in there, can you keep it? So often people, ask for currency, but they can't keep it. Why is that? Because have they entrusted it? No, seriously, have they entrusted that? So often people ask for a mate. Can't keep it. Why? Was it entrusted? But I tell people, if you have a mate, please don't share your mate on social media. There's an algorithm to break that. I don't want people eating and I just leave that alone. But
Me and
seriously,
look what you did for me. Look what you're doing for me.
We just take full responsibility for everything that happens. And when you take full responsibility, because if you fear something, fear is a drawing. We're already magnetic. And Dr. Pookrum talked about the electromagnetic from the cells, so we have to keep our cells hydrated because our cells are magnetic and they're electric. That's that sun ray. So if we're electron, we're magnetic. If you got some fear, you're going to draw whatever you fear. You got worry, you're going to draw the worry. Because that's where your attention is. So if you're inviting fear in your life, get ready. If you're inviting worry in your life, that's what you're keeping in your trust. When you invite doubt in your life, that's what you're keeping in your trust. When you invite stress and anxiety in your life, that's what you're keeping in your trust.
Mm-hmm.
So who and what do you invite to keep in your trust?
What a sacred service. I love it. I went through. I had all types of different feelings during this service. I got emotional at one point. We were talking about the mothers and the return of that which is ours. Got joyful. I am loving the perception of trusting. What are you bringing? Being of trust and trusting. When you spoke on poverty or spoke on people asking for money and not being able to keep it, it's real simple. It's like, okay, so if you are not interested in abundance, then that means that you trust the poverty better than you trust what is naturally yours. Like, you going off the rhythm. Like, you trust the poverty. So that's why you keep thinking like that and feeling that way and like, oh, I need some money. Can't keep the money going in, going out instead of money going out, money coming in.
Let's share this in a different way.
Okay.
If you invite currency in your life,
Mm-hmm.
and the currency comes, but you can't keep it, that means that you don't have the consciousness of currency. So that means I will go back in to see what's in my trust regarding currency. The trust is the consciousness, right?
Okay.
So
yes, like a
I need
treasure
to go
trust.
back in.
A treasure
Yes.
trust. Yes, I'm
So
following.
your trust is your consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
So if I invite currency, then I already have the I have to have the consciousness to have the currency in order for me to keep it. Now, does that make sense? So your trust is your consciousness. So if I have the consciousness for trust, for currency, and when I invite the currency in, I'll be able to keep it because I've already got it in my consciousness. I've got the currency consciousness. If I have the infinite air consciousness, then the only thing I do is invite the infinite air in and keep. It's going to be kept because I already got the consciousness. Now does this make sense? See, the trust is your consciousness. What you trust is in your consciousness is the trust.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got the consciousness, the awareness, another word I'm going to say is an awareness. Or your trust could be your temple, your mind. Okay, we'll say mind. But if you don't have the mind to know that you are the currency, you won't keep it. You can't keep what you aren't. You can't be what you ain't. Now this makes sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah. So in order for you to have the infinite, I'm going to say it, the infinite trust, you have to have the infinite consciousness. That means that everything, every feeling, every thought, every word, every action, every deed is infinite. That's just something you allow to flow through you. If you, I'm inviting the infinite spirit, melanated infinite, just say the word infinite, and allow it to go from your brain, your heart, your womb, and put it in, because it's already in your tissues, it's already in your cells. You just got to go in and feel it, be it, think it, be it. Get the consciousness of infinite. whole division of being an infinite air, not of just of the green energy. How does the infinite air feel? If you're infinite, how would you feel?
You say abundant about everything. Like there's nothing that you cannot have. Everything is within your reach.
Okay, but see, I want to take it a little bit deeper. For me, being an infinite air, it means that I am everything. I am all things. There's nothing that I'm not. No, I'm not saying about having. There's nothing that I'm not. Everything that I need is within me. All that I do is invite it, call it forth. I'm not attaching it to a physical thing. I'm attaching it to my spiritual thing. Does it make sense now?
Yeah.
So when you have the infinite, the trust, because your trust is your consciousness. When you have the trust of the infinite, everything, everywhere you go, you carry that being of knowing that all is well and well indeed, that the omniverse, the motherverse is going to give you, everything is given to you. You don't have to fret, you don't have to worry, you don't have to doubt, because you have the consciousness for it. You practice. You put the infinite trust. You trust that you're infinite. It's all in your mind. It's all in your heart. It's all in your being. It permeates your total being. You don't have to doubt. You don't have to worry. You don't have to fear. You don't have anxiety. You don't have stress, because you know. That's that knowing piece. The trust is the knowing piece. Practice. I invite the infinite. I invite the infinite into my life. I invite the infinite because I'm a keeper of the trust. So I invite ease and joy in my life. Invite the infinite consciousness in your life. Invite what you want into your life. And once you invite it in, trust. And let it drop. And once you invite it, just let it permeate. Just drop it through your whole body. Let it flow through your body. Feel it. Taste it. Touch it. See it. Hear it. That goes back to those 6 senses. See, you put everything in trust. That's the keeping piece. When you can taste it, when you can touch it, when you can smell it, when you can hear it, when you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
See it with the physical eye, but you see it with the spiritual eye. That's that spiritual vision. That's the nurturing it. So when you have the currency consciousness, currency is going to flow all around you. And when I say all around you, when you need something, it's going to be right there. That's the infinite consciousness. You ain't got to go look for it. It's going to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Your cells are going to draw it to you because you have that consciousness. You have that trust. You've invited it in. Now you can keep it. But if you don't have the consciousness or the trust, can't keep it. It's green energy. Currency, money is green energy. That's all it is. It's a currency. But if you don't know you're the current, what is a current? A current is electric. But if you don't know you're electric, you don't know you're magnetic, then how are you going to keep something? How are you going to keep that flow flowing? This is what I tell sisters. I'm like what you put your hand in a sock. I'm the current. Because when you word sound with me, when you leave me, your frequency is going to be energized. The current is going to be raised. Because I'm vibrating at a current. I'm not going to come down. I'm going to help your currents raise up. So it's like you stick your hand in a socket. That's the frequency that we should be vibrating on. That's that inspiration. That's that awakener. That's the wisdom logs. But your trust is your consciousness. And when you invite it in, because you already have the consciousness, the trust, you can keep it. So now if you don't have the trust or the consciousness, find out why. That means that there are some things that I need to look at. Like we've been told, you can't be emotional. We're emotional creatures.
Right.
And I'm not saying you have to look at your emotions in order to bring it to a place of wholeness. If you don't never look at them, as our minister SCG 13 says, you put the Band-Aid on it. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Because we've been Band-Aid people all our lives. It's time to take the Band-Aids off. You could do it gently. You could do it harmoniously. That doesn't mean because the Band-Aid is being ripped off that you got to be, woe is me. No. Be thankful and grateful that you have someone that can rip the Band-Aid off for you to show you something.
Right.
Everything has a consciousness. Everything has an awareness. Currency, green energy, currency, health, everything has an awareness. Everything. Love, wholeness, fruit, it has a consciousness. It has a season. It has an awareness. Where are we at in that?
What or who do you invite into your trust? I thoroughly enjoyed this service. I'm so grateful for the wisdom that you have shared with us, Ia. I Minister Ebony loves the way that you have words sounded, broken down everything in regards
Thank
to
you,
your meaning. Yes. Shout out to I Minister Ebony. Shout out to all the I Ministers. Shout out to all of our listeners. Giving thanks to all of the wounds. Showing love and grace to all of the wounds. giving thanks for the simplicity in that which you have shared, things that we can begin to recognize and be aware of immediately. So thankful and so grateful to you, Ia. It is an honor.
I'm thankful and grateful to you also, sis.
Thank you.
I thank you. I thank each I syndicate, each I minister, heartfelt love, gratitude and gratefulness that I'm on the planet, which grateful, just grateful that I have sistering, that we are on the same consciousness, that we have the same Musa, that there's no big eyes and little me's, that we are all equal. And ain't nobody trying to outdo nobody else. And we honor and love and value each other. So I thank you, I Minister SCG 13, for your vision, for your proudness of having a vision for the master liar. I thank you, I Minister Ready, for always being ready, for always willing to serve, for always willing to show up. I thank each minister. What I can do, you can do. We all can do this. This is ours. So thank you all.
I share. You said Wu-Sa, so we want to bring some attention to Wu-Sa Wednesdays that is now occurring in the evening time, and the floor has been open for others to come and Wu-Sa, so you can get an idea and experience from some of our self-healing practitioners with Master Vibration 13. Also, we have Sacral Saturdays where we will be diving into sacral chakra healing, which happens tomorrow night, 7 p.m. PST. So that would be 7, 8, 9. That would be 9 p.m. EST, right? That always just really just sends me like, what is PST, CST? Like, what is all this? We just all on the same time. Like, why is this? But yes, 7 p.m. PST is our Sacral Chakra Saturday healing session, our sacred service, in addition to what we have tonight, and as well as Wu-Sa Wednesday. Shout out to our Minister SCG 13, giving thanks. Shout out to all of the I ministers. Shout out to all the wounds, sending healing, and just giving thanks for the simplicity in the message that can be used and move forward daily with wisdom, utilization, being mindful of what our trust is in, and what and who our trust is in, and within ourselves on a conscious level. I'm so grateful for this conversation. Please keep coming back to us so you can tap into these conversations. Don't forget to tap into your own conversation with yourself. That is very important. Be mindful of our website, which is www.mastervibration13.com. You should become a member and be a part of the lair where there is so much healing and information there. It is an honor and a pleasure. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here with us, great mother. We are answering the call. We hope that you are pleased indeed and continue to walk with us as it is your shoulders that we stand upon. It is you that is leading, and it is you that is guiding, and we thank you, we thank you, we thank you, kind Spirit, for everything. I say. Adios.
Wholeness.
Yes, wholeness.
When I feel the sound of music vibrating in me, I take hold of the energy and ride the frequency. My soul makes the melody of my life, so I must sing. Every tune that comes through me brings balance to my being. I have the power to change me through sound. I have the power to change the direction in me through my mind. I am creation, I am animation, I am the brightest vibrant star in all of the constellations. I am zip, pepper, sass, punch, bounce, moxie, mojo, whatever you call it. I am Ajay, 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 Ajay. Ajay, 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 Ajay. Ajay, 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 Ajay. Ajay, 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 Ajay. Ajay, Ajay, Ajay. 13 Ajay, Ajay, Ajay. 13 Ajay. Ajay, Ajay. Ajay, 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 Ajay. 13 Ajay, Ajay, Ajay. 13 Ajay. Ajay, Ajay. Ajay, 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 Ajay. 13 Ajay, Ajay, Ajay. 13.